Up till now, students, you have studied the two processes, sieving and sedimentation and decantation. You all know that sieving is the process which is used mostly at our homes to separate flour from harmful particles before making a dough out of it. And sedimentation and decantation is also used at our homes, but it is the process which is used mostly in liquid and insoluble solid mixture. So, like whenever we'll dissolve sand into water, the sand will not be able to dissolve. So after some time, the sand particles will settle down at the bottom of that container and the water will be cleared. So after that, we'll pour the water into another liquid, or into another beaker, and the sand particles will be separated out of it. Activity 2.5 is the same. You can see there are two beakers, some sand, some water, a glass rod. So sand and water mixture is taken, and we have mixed it, and we have kept aside for 15 to 20 minutes. What will happen when the sand particles will settle down? See the second diagram. When the sand particles settle down and the clear water is there, this process is known as sedimentation, the settling down of the insoluble solid particles at the bottom of any of the container due to influence of force of gravity is known as sedimentation. And then, to separate them completely, to pour the clear water into another container, this process is known as decantation, which is shown in third diagram. I hope you all understood this. So now, limitations of sedimentation and decantation. See, whenever there is some profit of anything, there is limitation of anything also. Limitation means the process is uh, what we can say is bounded till there only. So you can read the components of an insoluble solid and liquid cannot be completely separated. Yes, it's clear. You can do this process anytime at your home, and you will see that the water is not very much clear. It is somewhat clear from the whatever the sand particles were bigger in size, that are only separated, and some of the sand particle then too rotates into the water and moves into the water. You can see. Then the components of solid which is lighter than liquid do not settle down, hence they cannot be separated. You can what black seed, in Hindi we call it till, we black till. So what happens when you pour that black till into the water, you'll observe that they are lighter, so they'll be moving around on the upper side of the water, so they cannot be separated. So this is the limitation of sedimentation and decantation. Now, filtration. This method is used to separate insoluble solid and liquid. Same. So the most common example for this is separating tea particles from tea. You can see the diagram and just read it. In this process, the mixture to be separated is passed through a filter paper. Filter paper has tiny pores that allows only the liquid to pass through it, and the insoluble solid particles remain on the filter paper. This happens with tea or not. The insoluble solid left behind on the filter paper is called residue. See, the tea particles along with ginger and sugar, whatever particles are left behind on the filter paper, or we can say sieve, is residue, and the clear liquid, that is tea, is known as filtrate. In addition to the filter paper, we can use glass wool, charcoal, sand, unglassed porcelain, cotton, and strainer. Okay, sieve whenever is used to separate insoluble solid and liquid is known as strainer. I hope you all understand that, and mind it, the solid particles which are left behind on the filter paper is residue, and the liquid particles which are passed through it is known as filtrate.